Go with the flow. Flowstream.com.
Welcome. It's the pre-election Will and Willie special broadcast brought to you by the world-famous Buena Vista Cafe, the original home of the Irish coffee right here at Hyde and Beach Streets by the San Francisco Bay. And we're with political icon Willie Brown and political comedian Will Durst. And I'm your producer.
No, it's reversed.
It's reversed.
Political comedian Willie Brown.
Political icon Will Durst. Well, you just got a plaque saying what an icon you are.
Political liaison Paul Wells.
Oh, okay. I like that. Liaison. That should be my occupation. Welcome, gentlemen. Good to get together with you again.
It's good to be in the BV. Mm-hmm. After all, the BV is an institution in this great city. And
it's great to be institutionalized.
That's right.
Yes.
See,
at least once.
He's right on time.
Yeah. An icon.
Where do the punchlines come from?
No, but this is one of the places that you do have to take people when they come from out of town.
Absolutely.
It's the one that they always ask about.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, you don't really have to worry about when you suggest. They start with the Golden Gate Bridge, BV, and that is how they do it.
Yeah.
And especially if it's a cold night and there are tourists out in their Bermuda shorts waiting for a cable car.
It could be midday, Paul, in that
Yeah, that's true, too. And they're coming for a nice hot Irish coffee. And this building...
The arrangements are fabulous because we have designed ourselves in such a way for cable car purposes that you're stuck out there for a couple hours before you can get a cable car. And the deal is, while you're stuck out there, you come here for your libations.
To warm up.
That's right.
Yeah.
For your inspiration and for your warmth. It's part of what the city does.
You do a tag team while you're in line. All right, we'll stand here. You go in, get a couple of Irish coffees, come back and relieve us. Right. Boom, boom.
That's the way it works.
Smart.
And believe me, after 2 runs, they skip the line.
Just going to go into the BV now.
Yeah.
That's right. I'll wait till tomorrow. That's how it is.
Do they know that they can walk 2 blocks up Hyde and catch the cable car there and not stand in line?
No, we don't want them to do that. we want
Just let the world know, Will.
Yeah, we want to. Do you know, when first elected to the mayorship, you guys won't remember this, but the very first component of the inauguration for that night in which I was inaugurated was right out there. We had, the fireworks and all the hoopla that goes with it, and then we had a walk up that
to the
street.
Pier.
That's right.
I was there.
Yeah.
I hosted some of it, and I remember John Lee Hooker was playing, and John Lee Hooker, and it was at one of the little band show, the little stands, music stands in there, and I came out and I sat down, and John Lee Hooker looked at me and said, "That's my seat." So that was pretty much the height of it.
That's the start of your night.
Well, we're 5 weeks away from the election at this point, and about maybe 5-6 weeks. And this vodcast, broadcast on Green 960 on Sunday the 26th. We are here to check out what's going on, country, state of California, locally. In the second section, we'll talk about some local San Francisco and Bay Area politics, moreover.
I think we ought to broadcast, in my opinion, I think we ought to broadcast from Delaware.
Yes.
That's election central.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
the grand city of Dover.
That is correct. After that lady did what she did in the short time period.
You mean the Republican witch?
That's right.
You could say that. She only
dare.
She dabbled in witchcraft.
Oh, dabbled.
She never joined a coven.
No.
And today or yesterday, a group of witches, the elders of the Wiccan community in Delaware, disavowed her. So that can't be good. When the Wiccan community is disavowed.
She has a history of being rejected.
Has she lost elections?
Paul. Yeah, she's tried many times to run for various things, and each time she's moved up.
In her failure.
That's right, where she might be defeated.
She failed up.
And she really flipped out Karl Rove. He really went nuts when she ended up winning against the established Republican candidate.
Castle.
That's right. This guy has won every time he's run for anything in that state over almost 2 decades. The same goes for many other Republicans, Will, throughout the country who have been victimized by Sarah Palin's express called the Tea Party. I mean, and she's nailing them all over the country. It's internal Republican politics. I don't doubt that if she continues to operate the way she's operating, the Tea Party is going to become the Republican Party.
You really think that the Tea Party is going to move the Republican Party? Is it going to be like
Even further to the
64?
right.
In your heart, you know he's right, and just move him so far to the right?
Absolutely, that you can't win anything.
Well, that could happen in 12 if the Republicans are thwarted in gaining either house of the Congress this time, and things don't get better between now and the presidential election. I could see that happening in 2012. You know, the whole country moving so far right. But I don't know if it's going to happen here. I'm of two minds. I think it involves moving the party to the right, but I also think that for the short term, I think a lot of Republican seats that could have gone Republican are going to stay in Democratic hands. I think Alaska has a good chance of staying in Democratic hands because of Joe Miller, who beat Linda Murkowski, who was an incumbent. And it's the same thing that happened when Sarah Palin took out her father when he was governor, and she beat him in a primary. And I think it's going to be bad for the Republicans short term, but it might be good for them long term.
Well, you know, throughout the country, we have not yet seen a confrontation between one of those successful new Republican nominees and a Democrat. That just hasn't happened so far. My guess is in Florida, because we suddenly have the Republican bailing out before he got defeated and becoming an independent, and we have an African-American Democratic congressman running as well, the two of them splitting the intelligent, rational, reasonable vote in Florida is going to cause the election of the Tea Party guy, Rubio, he's going to win in Florida. But that's not a pure contest. The first pure contest, and the most dramatic, in my opinion, will be in the state of Kentucky, where
Paul Rand.
That's right. And the guy that's running against him is an impressive attorney general candidate in that state. I think that guy has the potential of being a superstar nationally. If he can defeat Mr. Paul, he will, in my opinion, cap whatever advances the Republicans thought they were going to make. Now, on the other hand, the chances of the Democrats winning in Connecticut, very good, even though they got a guy that had a mysterious transformation from his service record.
Yeah. When I served in Vietnam, I served during
Vietnam.
I was serving in a restaurant. I was a waiter in Vietnam.
I served during Vietnam as well in the post office during the summer.
And then in the state of Nevada, can you imagine if you counted out 6 months ago, and then suddenly they got a person, and suddenly they got a person who will not allow herself to be interviewed. She's so uninformed on everything that she doesn't want to do it. So Harry Reid suddenly has a second life. People have a short memory, though, because Harry Reid's never won with any great numbers. He's always been right on the edge. He's always been searching for light in Searchlight. And that's been the base.
Searchlight Nevada.
Searchlight Nevada. And all of a sudden, he's got an opponent who is, like
she's running away. There's actually that shot of her when a cameraman is asking her questions, and she's running away from the cameraman and the anchor, which is very funny. Sharon Angle, who is Harry Reid's wet dream, and you're right, she's the only shot that he has at getting reelected.
No question, no question.
Thank God.
So I think those three places will be where you will actually see whether or not there's any future in the Republican Party going further towards Sarah Palin's choices of candidates. But be clear, those people are going to be funded like people have never been funded except for Meg.